This is News 8 Now at noon.
I'm Sophia Pullman. Today is the first day of spring days, and the days start to get longer, temps start to get warmer, and trees and flowers start to bloom. However, it's looking pretty gloomy outside.
Gloomy?
That's what the script said. It's not gloomy out right now. It's sunny. I guess I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I mean, well, hey, you're not wrong, though, because this week, though, we're probably going to see a lot of clouds.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
The sun's out right now.
The sun's out right now, as you can see behind me.
Let's take a moment to appreciate it.
Yeah, from City Cam 8 is definitely looking nice and quiet here this afternoon. We did see a little bit of clouds, though, this morning, though, and they're actually clearing out a little bit faster than anticipated. And as you can see on the satellite and radar picture, we had some clouds out there this morning. They are clearing out. Some dry air is moving in. That's getting rid of some of the clouds that we're seeing here to start us off this afternoon. Temperatures are in the 30s and 40s, and I say 30s because Eau Claire currently at 34, La Crosse is at 45, Winona's at 41, and Sparta's at 42 degrees. We're seeing the mid-40s, though, in Prairie du Chien and in Boscobel. So only a few clouds here for the remainder of the afternoon today. A seasonable day in terms of temperatures as well, with a light breeze out of the west to southwest at around 5 to 10 miles an hour here, too. So coming up in a bit, we'll talk more about your full weather forecast. I'll let you know how the rest of the week is shaping out. There could be a chance that we could be looking at some rain, maybe even a little wintry mix potential here as well later this week. We'll talk all about that in just a few minutes. Sophia?
Former president and 2024 presidential candidate Donald Trump made headlines over the weekend when he predicted he'll be arrested this week, and then called on his supporters for help in a way that reminded many people of January 6th. Astrid Martinez has the latest from New York.
Former President Trump is calling for his supporters to take action as he faces possible indictment and arrest. On social media, he wrote, "We must save America. Protest, protest, protest." The Manhattan District Attorney is investigating alleged hush money payments made to adult film star Stormy Daniels on Trump's behalf prior to the 2016 election. There's concern Trump's words could lead to violence, similar to January 6th, while some of his supporters are questioning why this case is even being pursued when federal prosecutors passed on it.
This is selective prosecution. If I were President Trump, I'd take this all the way to the damn Supreme Court.
In an email, Manhattan's DA told colleagues that safety is the top priority, and we do not tolerate attempts to intimidate our office or threaten the rule of law in New York. Even though Mr. Trump predicts he will be arrested tomorrow, the grand jury is still hearing testimony. CBS News legal analyst Ricky Kleeman expects, if indicted, Trump will surrender to authorities, but not Tuesday. And she says it's unlikely anyone will see the former president in a perp walk.
He is protected by Secret Service, and Secret Service is not going to parade him in handcuffs on a public way.
Today, a defense witness is expected to challenge the credibility of Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, who allegedly made the payments, and Cohen may be called back to refute that testimony. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, New York.
Cohen once pleaded guilty to lying to Congress, so Trump's lawyers are certain to question his credibility. And in local news, Highway 157 is now open after a vehicle crash Sunday afternoon. The southbound lanes were closed for nearly 5 hours. La Crosse Dispatch tells News 8 that the first call for the crash came in shortly after 2. Responders were not available to comment on the incident, but crews saw Onalaska Police and fire departments, as well as La Crosse County Sheriff's vehicles on the scene. We will report more information as it becomes available. Starting today, the Lower Hickson Forest Trailhead will be closed. This closure happens every year. Trails are extra fragile during this time of year. The Outdoor Recreation Alliance says to, in any case, use trails with dry dirt or firmly packed snow only. So if you're leaving tracks, it's time to turn around. That trailhead will be closed until further notice. Families also gathered for a day of fun at the Onalaska Omni Center. This is the event's first year back after 4 years, and it was free thanks to Onalaska Animal Hospital. Families got to drop by for a circus-themed afternoon full with acrobats and ponies. The Parenting Place's executive director says it's great to be back.
It's so exciting. We want to see families out in the community, interacting with each other. Last summer, we did a pretty deep community survey asking parents what they're looking for, and the top response was family fun.
Any money made at the Family Fun Expo will go to the Parenting Place. They'll use that money to bring free programming to area families. It's a sure sign of spring. Shelby's Fire Department's annual Chicken Queue is back this weekend. Families stopped by to support the town of Shelby at its 56th annual fundraiser. This is the biggest fundraiser of the year for Shelby Fire. Families drove through and enjoyed their chicken with all the trimmings. The money raised for the Chicken Queue will go to support the fire department. Assistant Fire Chief Tony Holinka says the community outreach has been great.
The community is really generous. They'll come out and they'll buy meals. We've had people buy tickets that don't even come and get the meal. They just serve it as a donation to the fire department.
This year's dinner sold over 3,200 chicken dinners. All the money raised helps pay for equipment and training for the firefighters. Still to come today at noon, the cost of rent in major U.S. cities is on the rise. If you're thinking about relocating, a Zillow economist shares the cities that might break your bank. The cost of living has gone up significantly during the pandemic. Joe Benedict has the results of a study that shows which cities are the least affordable and why.
Jacob Marker and Matt Garrison share a two-bedroom apartment in Los Angeles that can feel a little cramped at times.
It's not the Taj Mahal.
Marker is a barista making minimum wage, which is $16 an hour in LA, so having his own apartment just isn't an option.
It's definitely rough knowing that the way I make my money will never be enough.
As a video game designer, Garrison fares a little better financially, but has had at least one roommate for the last 7 years.
The amount I pay barely would cover the apartment if I were to be here alone.
But these renters are doing better than most. A recent study from Zillow says it would typically take almost 3 people working full-time minimum wage jobs to afford a 2-bedroom in LA, and it's much worse in cities where the minimum wage is lower.
In Austin, it would take a little over 5 full-time minimum wage workers to afford a 2-bedroom rental.
Jeff Tucker is an economist for Zillow.
Austin and then Atlanta are the 2 most unaffordable. And that's because these are 2 cities that are pretty expensive, growing, in-demand cities that still have that federal minimum wage of just $7.25 an hour.
Fresno, California fares the best, requiring only 1.6 full-time jobs to afford a 2-bedroom.
I think what this goes to show is that local policy measures can make a really big difference in raising people's incomes to help deal with that high cost of living.
Marker isn't going to leave LA, but he hopes new opportunities will come along so he can finally get his own space. Joy Benedict, CBS News, Los Angeles.
As we head to break, here is a live look at the New York Stock Exchange. Stay with us, more news is next. A new study examines the link between mental health and oral health. Plus, a new poll suggests some parents may not have a realistic view when it comes to their children and vaping. Astrid Martinez has a look at the day's top health stories.
Nearly half of parents say they would definitely know if their child is vaping, according to a national poll from the University of Michigan. This despite the fact that vaping devices are easy to hide. 80% also think their adolescent or teen understands the health risks, with few believing their child has tried it. CDC data from last year found that 14% of high schoolers and 3% of middle schoolers said they had recently vaped. A new study of hospital patients and their pets finds multi-drug resistant organisms can be transmitted between cats and dogs and their owners. The findings were presented at the European Congress of Clinical Microbiology and Infectious Diseases. Researchers at only a small number of cases were found, suggesting pets are not a major source of antibiotic-resistant infections in hospital patients. And a new study suggests patients with mental illness may have higher levels of oral disease.
Researchers from the University of California looked at 6 oral health conditions, including bleeding gums and bone loss around teeth, and found they were significantly more prevalent among patients with severe mental health problems. That's a look at some of the day's top health stories. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, New York.
Here is a live look through City Cam 8. Derek is in next with our forecast.
Well, it sure is a gorgeous start to the afternoon. A live look outside there from City Cam 8, and we got plenty of blue sky out there. Maybe only a few clouds out there this afternoon so far. That's about it. Temperatures pretty mild, around 45 degrees. Visibility at around 10 miles, so perfect out there. Meanwhile, in Eau Claire, we're currently feeling like 25, but the actual temperature is 34 degrees. We do have east-northeast winds at around 13 miles an hour here currently. And again, only a few clouds right now in the local satellite and radar picture. We did have a little bit more cloud cover early this morning, but we have some drier air moving in, and that is helping to erode some of the clouds that we're seeing. So we're actually under the influence of this nearly stationary frontal boundary position over the upper Midwest, including us here in the Coulee region. So as long as this system is in place here over us, we may see a few clouds off and on, but for the most part, not really expecting any significant weather by any means. Today is the first official day of spring today, by the way, and this basically what happens is when you have the sun directly over the equator, the sun rays that is over the equator, and basically we have the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere seeing the same amount of daylight. It also means that our temperatures eventually begin to warm up here across the northern hemisphere as well. So here's a check on those current conditions across the area. We're looking at 30s and 40s. We're looking at 42 right now in Sparta, 42 in Viroqua. Temperatures in Winona currently at 41 degrees. And for the day planner, looking at 46 degrees by 3 o'clock, followed by 47 degrees by 5. As we head towards 7 o'clock, we're looking at partly cloudy skies and temperatures at around 42 degrees here for us to work with. So we'll time things out on Sky Tracker, and you can see that we may even see a little bit more cloud cover kind of develop a little bit by the time we reach 4 o'clock in the afternoon. By 9 o'clock, a few leftover clouds here are still possible before they increase again here, it looks like, as we head into overnight tonight. By tomorrow morning around 7 o'clock, we're going to wake up mainly cloudy, maybe a slight chance of a snow shower in some spots, mainly to the east. You can see some of those flurries here kind of developing and moving north by tomorrow afternoon early. And by 6 p.m. tomorrow, still looking at those mainly cloudy weather conditions. Our temperatures for the most part into the mid-40s. Our next storm system will be back to the west, and that will be moving in our general direction as we head into tomorrow night into early Wednesday. The snow is mainly going to be focused to north, while the rest of us, such as the La Crosse area, probably won't see a whole lot of snow, maybe more in the form of just rain showers as it moves through. And then this should all exit the area around 5 o'clock into the morning on Wednesday. Then we're just left over with mainly cloudy weather conditions, which will continue as we head into Wednesday afternoon here as well. So looking ahead, here it comes, that storm system that we talked about here. That's going to be upping the precipitation chances for tomorrow night into early Wednesday. That is this system right here. The next system that I'm watching is this one here in the form of some rain, or not rain, but snow showers, and also a bit of a wintry mix that's very narrow here. It looks to set up across the portions of southern Minnesota and also portions of central Wisconsin by early Thursday. That will continue into early Thursday afternoon before falling apart here as it moves east as we head into Thursday night, and then should be a little bit drier here after that for the 8-day forecast, as you'll see as we get closer towards Friday and this weekend. So we just have to watch out for some possible rain, snow chances and a bit of wintry mix here, it looks like, as we head into tomorrow through Thursday. And then after that, we should dry out. Temperatures pretty seasonable for our highs and our lows.
Fingers crossed that Thursday is our last winter mix of the season.
Yeah, fingers crossed on that one, that's for sure.
Come on, Derek. Yeah. Thank you. Skiers and snowboarders alike turned out for one final run down Mount La Crosse. For the last day of the ski season, Mount La Crosse held a special celebration. This was the area's first ever pond skim, where skiers head down the hill and across a puddle of water. As you can see, some landings were smoother than others. Organizers say it's a great way to end the busy season.
It's been a wonderful season for Mount La Crosse, and this is so nice to be able to end this season on a beautiful day with a lot of people out here just having a good time and saying goodbye to winter.
Over 75 people signed up for the pond skim. Mount La Crosse closed for the season. When we come back, reaching towards a dream, the winner of La Crosse Symphony Orchestra's Rising Star competition shares what making music means to him after the break.
Well, just a few clouds for the remainder of the day, high of 47 degrees. There's a slight chance of rain and snow for tomorrow, but other than that, mainly cloudy. Better chances, though, of that for tomorrow night to Wednesday as far as the precipitation goes. And then Thursday, watching yet another system that could give us a chance of some wintry mix out there. Otherwise, expect pretty cloudy skies for the rest of the week. Highs in the 40s, lows in the 20s and low 30s.
News 8 now. You can watch us at 5 and 6 tonight. We will see you later.